Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
It's gonna be fun. I'm super excited. All right. So first, let's get this out the way. I'm not an attorney or an accountant. So anyone, you want to get legal advice or accounting advice for anything, even though I will share documents or a personal sales agreement, and there's certain things that you guys can, bless you, you can ask me about that I'm very aware of, but I always tell people, depending where you're at, do your due diligence. Okay.
Yep.
So we'll jump right in. So these are my three boys that are now going to
There
be
you are.
moving out on their own. And
You look kind of young for that.
yeah, I know, really?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this was some time ago. And I've been in the real estate investing space for over 20 years. I've purchased more than $40 million, purchased and sold more than $40 million. This is of personal real estate. These are actually slides, these are settlement statements. And or wire confirmations of $1.86 million in less than 24 months that I've done. And so I'm jumping straight into credibility. So you guys know exactly who is talking to you. I've invested in 7 different states myself. I have coached investors, real estate agents, and brokers since 2015 all over the country. So I'm familiar with quite a few things. I won't say that I know it all. I don't think anyone does. But when it comes to the creative deal structuring and financing subject to area, I really know my topic. So we'll jump right in. One of the things that I always pay attention to is I'm here to bring as much value as I can. And I created a course, focused on the value amplifier approach. And I know everyone on this call is doing the same thing because this is a people business, right? All your clients, you're there to bring solutions and solve their problem. So we're all value amplifiers. The thing that I want to this call to bring to your awareness is not to leave any money on the table and for you to think outside the box, okay? Because you can potentially make way more money than you're making if you're not using these strategies. So that's my goal for this. I'm going to touch on the 3 misconceptions about creative financing, and I'm going to show case studies about that. I'm going to touch on the value amplifier method, my approach, my methodology, and how I do this. And yes, I can also give you, I forgot to include but you know what, I'll do it, Gary. I'll send you, when you send the recording out to people, a free download by tomorrow in my purchase and sales agreement. I have a 2-page purchase and sales agreement, very straightforward, that I use. I don't use the real estate agent 12, 13, 14 page agreements when I work with sellers. So, and by the way, even though you are all licensed agents, you don't have to use the real estate agent agreement. As long as you use a disclosure that you're disclosing that you're a real estate agent, you're a licensee, and you're purchasing a property for investment purposes, you can use any personal sales agreement that you want. So just bring that to your awareness. All right, we're going to jump right in. So, are you guys open to being a buyer for your clients? How many of you have ever come across a listing presentation and the sellers loved you so much? Because I know you all have loved you so much, and then they're like, "Man, could you buy it? Like, I don't want to be listing it," or like you're thinking outside of the box. So they're so flexible. Like you love them, they love you. It's just that you don't know how to structure it. Has anyone come across a situation like that? Say yes. Please put a yes in the
Yep.
chat. Yeah, Gary, I know you have. Has anyone come across a situation like that? Because that's what I want to to do, like to show you guys the possibilities. And Jeff, yeah, perfect. Yeah, this happens. It happens more often than you think when you're open to that possibility, and you can even ask the right questions. You can ask, would you be open if I gave you an offer to purchase your property instead of listing it? Would you be open in me purchasing it, in me buying it?
Mhm.
If you ask that question, you'd be pleasantly surprised how many people will say yes. Okay, so we're gonna jump like straight in. And the three misconceptions that a lot of people have about creative financing is that these deals are really hard to find. One, first of all. The second one is that you need to use like money. You need to have money, and many times we don't have money to put down on a purchase. Like you don't see yourself as an investor already. You're not rehabbing. So like you may not have the ability of cash right now. And the other thing is you're thinking that you have to find houses that need work, that you can't buy pretty houses. And I'm going to show you how like all of these are misconceptions and they're not actually true. So why don't you type in the chat, okay, which one of these interests you the most? Like, or which one of these like you have your own misconception on this topic. One,
Yep.
two, or
I know,
three.
I know for me, it was the pretty houses. I always thought anything you did creative had was probably going to end up being houses and a lot of trouble, you know?
Yeah.
And
Okay. So a couple of people said they thought that they need to use their own money. Um, Camille Jordan said three. Okay. Lily is three. Yes. So all of these, you're absolutely right. Even for me too. Before I knew what to do, like I thought I had these misconceptions as well. Okay, perfect. We're gonna jump right in. So this is the first property I purchased subject to the existing loan in 2013, guys. And I found it off of Craigslist. I had a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and she was calling for sell by owners for me. And when I first came, okay, Gary, you and I are very similar. I believe everything is energy and intention is so powerful. A little bit about my story. In 2010, one of my first mentors, Dave, he was a rehabber in the Fredericksburg area. I asked him, can I come once a week and learn how to rehab houses? So he said, sure. So I learned how to rehab houses in 2010, right after the market crash. And it was super scary for me because he was using hard money lenders.
mhm.
And and by the way, just a little backstory. In 2010, well, it started in 2009 when the market crashed. My husband at the time lost his job. And we had bought a franchise. We had invested over $200,000 in a franchise that was failing. So, and we had to make a decision. Do we keep paying our mortgage or do we put all our money in this business?
Mhm.
And we made a decision to stop paying our mortgage. Long story short, we started getting foreclosure notices. I had put over $36,000 on credit cards because I didn't want to get a credit hit on my credit. And it was one of the lowest points of my life. Around that time, once we got the notices, the foreclosure notices, it was super embarrassing. But because I had my real estate license, that's when I heard about, oh, I could do a short sale. And I had to weigh options. I'm like, all right, I have to stop the bleeding. What's worse? Do we do a short sale or do we let our house go to foreclosure? So we ended up doing a short sale on a home that we thought was going to be, our dream home because that's where our kids were born. And when that happened, I was super scared to do anything real estate related. I had a couple of rentals at the time and I thought I was going to lose them all. It was just a very low point. in 2010, a little bit after that, I met Dave, who was a rehabber and flipping houses and doing well, an hour away from me. So I said, "Can I follow you around once a week so I can learn how to do this?" He said, "Yes." That took the fear away. That took the fear. I did that for a year. And what I love Dave and what I learned from him was not only what he was doing right, but what he was doing wrong. And I don't know if you guys know investors and rehabbers, many times they overextend themselves. Not every deal works. And some are profitable, some are not so profitable. And some integrity issues came up, and I had to make a decision. I did not want to work with him anymore after doing 2, 3 deals together. And then I said, God, there has to be a better way, please. And just know that when we ask, the answer always comes. The same way, like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That has happened to me in my whole life. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's when I met my second mentor and I learned about this strategy. When I was like, there has to be a better way, there has to be a better way. And then I came across Subject 2, and I was like, what? I'm like, I can buy a house leveraging someone else's loan. And when I learned that, I said, I want to try it. There was a level of excitement inside me, and it was like a knowing that I knew it's only a matter of time before I can do this. And that's exactly what happened. Like within 3 weeks of my virtual assistant calling for sell by owners, I came across this property here. I'm in the DC metro area, by the way, guys. I'm 45 minutes from DC. I'm in the suburbs. This property is in Reston, Virginia. It was built in the 70s. So this is the seller situation. He had had this property on the MLS and it wasn't selling. So he started posting it himself on Craigslist. And when I called, actually my virtual assistant called, I spoke to him, we went out and I went on the appointment. The situation was this. He had put $50,000 on a new construction property. And he was building a new home, single family home, because his family was growing, his wife was pregnant, and they couldn't afford 2 mortgages. That was their dilemma, their situation. And he was going to lose the $50,000 deposit unless this house was sold. You're all following me, right?
Yep.
So, come to find out, I did comps. When I showed up, guys, this is what was interesting. There was a bedroom that was purple. There was a bedroom that was green, and then he had those plastic accordion type closet doors. That's all that was wrong with it. That's all that was wrong with it. Nothing crazy. So when I saw it, because of my experience with Dave, okay, I was like, this is no big deal. It just needs a paint job. I'll put a new door. And when I sat with him, he told me that he had a loan on the property for around 325. Okay, this is a settlement sheet. This is a settlement sheet of what I brought to the table. Okay, once he told me he had that much loan, once I did my numbers, the fair market value for this property was around 385. If it was in good condition, right? Not the purple room, green, and all, 385. But once I took out real estate commissions and closing costs, one of my rules is this. The most I'm willing to pay for a property, if it meets my buying criteria, is up to 90% of the fair market value. Because you always want to buy right, okay? When you're an investor. So for me, like I said, okay, 385 minus what I need to put into it. I said, are you open to selling it for what you owe? He said, yes, I just want out. So while we were there with his wife at the kitchen table, we signed the 2-page personal sales agreement. And then on my way home, guys, literally, I was so scared, I thought that I was going to go to jail. Because I was like, I'm doing something illegal. I had never done this before. I had never done this before. But The cool thing is that I had an attorney and a title company. So obviously, I have certain disclosures. I have certain things that I've put in place. I closed this property for less than $5,000 out of my pocket by taking over the existing loan. And they were ecstatic doing this. And these are the rooms. So I went in and I changed, I painted it, and I put in what I call a tenant buyer. I put someone in, I marketed it, I put about $4,500 in there. Changed the closet doors and painted it. And then I started marketing it for rent with an option to buy. So listen to this. An IT professional reached out to me and he put down a $10,000 non-refundable option consideration. Okay. And I gave him a 12-month option to purchase a house. I bought it for 323 and his option to buy was for 400,000.
Hmm.
Right, because it was a future price and it was the fair market plus 5%. Usually around that's how I usually do it. Guess what? Do you think he exercised his option?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
He did
Ah.
not exercise his option to buy because he had a job relocation. So it was a non-refundable option consideration. Remember, I paid less than $5,000 to purchase it. And then around 4,500 to do paint and all that. He gave me $10,000 upfront for the option. And then his rent payment every month was covering the mortgage. Are you guys following me?
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't exercise his option. So that was non-refundable. He walked away from it. And then I ended up selling it on the market on the MLS, okay, for 410,000. And my net was a little bit over $76,000. And here's my wire.
Beautifully done. Love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. So does anyone have any questions up till this point?
Yeah,
Yes.
how many of
I have a
those? How many of
question.
those can you
Yes.
send me every year? That's what I want to know.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
How were you
Dude,
able to
was
buy
the
it?
loan
How were you
still?
able to buy it without only putting down 5,000 if he owed 325 or whatever on it? How were you able to buy it with only $5,000 down?
Okay, Bonita, that's a good question. So I took over the existing loan. So let me explain
Okay.
something to you.
Yep.
All right. So imagine like I'm gonna do like a little diagram. So this is a house, right?
Mhm.
That's what I'm doing. So here's a house, and it's secured by a loan. Here, the
Right,
calculator is a loan, right?
right.
Okay. And who owns it? Here, you own it. Here. So there's a deed. So because it's secured by the bank, it's secured by a bank, and they put either a mortgage or a deed of trust, right? And that's a secured instrument to the
Mhm.
property. And you own it. You have
Right.
ownership rights, right?
Right.
And your agreement with the bank is for you to make monthly payments to the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monthly payments to the bank, and that gives you ownership. Now, when I went and I spoke to them, I said to them, I can help you solve this problem by me taking over these payments. You will do a deed transfer. So instead of the deed being in their name, there's an ownership to me, right? The loan would stay in place, right? The bank loan stayed in place. Deed of trust or a mortgage stayed in place, depending on what state you're in. Okay, some states are deed of state, some states are mortgage states. That still stayed in place. So instead of them making the monthly payment, I started making the monthly payment to the
Right.
property. So in essence, I did not get, this was not a formal assumption. I never called the bank. My credit never came into play. I was never even asked. This is a people business and it's also a trust business. And you have to educate sellers. This is an education business. The same way you educate a seller when you go for a listing appointment and then you explain to them, okay, based on my comparables, your neighbor sold their house for this much. You don't have the updates that they have. I think your house is worth this much. Does that make sense? Don't you educate sellers when you go in for listing appointments?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we educate sellers on this strategy as well. Say, based on what numbers we have, there's no equity. You won't make any money. So I can take over the loan and I'll be making payments to the bank from this point forward. And then the loan will stay in its place. Who has another good question?
I haven't finished with that one because I haven't really understood. How did you get the bank to agree with you without them checking your
I
credit?
didn't.
You,
The bank never found out. So let me say something else. In 1976, this was very common in the 70s and the 80s when interest rates were 12, 15%, really high. The sellers used to do seller financing and these strategies on their own all the time. Okay, so banks got together in 1976 and they created the due on sell clause that it's in all the documents, most loan documents now. And the due on sell clause goes something like this. It says, a bank has a right to call due any loan that has been transferred. It doesn't mean they're going to do it. So let me ask you this, because I've worked with underwriters also with banks.
Mhm.
Do you think a bank will take a performing loan and put it in a non-performing category and call the loan due if they don't know about it?
How would they know about it?
They won't know about it.
So yeah, they're not gonna transfer.
So nothing will happen. So one of the things that I do is my disclosures, I get a power of attorney. So I explain that I will get a power of attorney. I will get an authorization to contact the lender. I will get different disclosures. So I protect myself. And then from the point that we close onward, then I handle everything about the property. If I need to contact the lender, I can contact them. The statements will come to my PO box, all that stuff. But I don't want to get stuck in the weeds because I have like more case studies to go over. Connie, you have your hand raised.
Yes, I wondered, how do you close on the property like that when the loan is not in your name? Do you have a disclosure for that?
They're just okay. So I've been buying houses like this since 2013 with loans never being in my name.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you can take over existing loans, okay? But take over existing loans, and then whoever owns it, you can always do a deed transfer, and the loan will stay in place. And there are attorneys and title companies that do this all the time, all over the country.
Were you doing a quick clean deed, Maya?
No, I do. No, it's a warranty deed. And I
Okay.
buy title insurance. I buy
Nice.
title insurance subject to that particular lien or deed of trust. So
Mhm.
so I get title insurance, I protect myself fully. And I've explained it. I've even trained my attorney, my title company. I've been using it for so long, all my documents, everything that I've been doing. So this is yeah. Any
Yeah.
other questions? And I'll go to the next one.
Yeah, Scott
I've
is
got one.
asking, how do you take title?
Yeah.
Oh, a very good question. I take title, I'll put all my properties in a land trust. Okay, going back to the IRS. So this is another strategy that I use. I buy my properties in a land trust. A land trust is a disregarded entity in the eyes of the IRS, and I use a trustee. For example, let's say I buy a house and Gary Wilson is my trustee. And I buy a house from Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I will say, Gary Wilson, trustee of the Smith Trust, dated June 22nd, 2026. So it looks on paper, on the deed, it will look as if it's estate planning. Because going back to the due and sell clause, The IRS allows anyone who does any type of estate planning, they're allowed to change the deed.
Mhm.
So technically, like I make it look as if it's like estate planning on their behalf, but it isn't. The beneficiary of the land trust is my real estate LLC,
Mhm.
my investing LLC.
Yeah, what happens, guys, when you put a property in trust, and that the house I'm in right now is our family home, and my brother is technically the owner, but we purposely put it in a trust here in our local county because my sister and I, we still have an estate interest in the house, even though he lives here. It's his primary home. He's not the full owner. So we put it on a trust, putting something in a trust does has a lot of benefits. You don't have to pay transfer tax. Um, it's just the nature of the body of law that trusts fall under. It's just part of that they don't consider that a transfer like I'm selling it. We're
Oh,
just controlling the ownership for lots of reasons. And one of the benefits is 1982, I think it was, and I think it was the Garmin, Germain. I can't remember the name.
Jermaine?
Yeah, it has in there. There's a clause in there. It's like what Nia was saying about the 70s. This is a reaction to that, plus some other things were happening at the time. It says in the legislation, if you can look this up, you can Google it. When Congress passed that law, I think it was 82, they talked about the bank's right to call a note due. And there was one exception. And the exception is if a mortgage is on a property where the property is held in trust, the bank can't call that note due except for one reason, if it's not being paid on. Well, the note's being paid on. Everybody here has motivation to make sure it's paid. The seller, they want it to get paid, and so does the buyer. Naya wants it to pay it too because she wants to control the property to profit from it. That's the legal part about how I used to own a title company, so we did this all the time. Um, Perfectly legal. It's just a matter of understanding the laws and having somebody that knows what they're doing, like Naya.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, and ask questions. So let me ask you this. Are you all like put in the chat how many years have you been in real estate? Okay, then the years that you've been in real estate, and then also, okay, unmute. Tell me what type of problems do you hear that sellers have? What are what are some of the top situations that sellers have that need help that you think these strategies could help?
Want to learn what's working right now in real estate? Then don't miss Monday Night Live, happening every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Each week, we bring you expert training on real estate investing, agent attraction, lead generation, marketing, and AI-powered strategies to help you work smarter and scale faster. You'll also hear inspiring success stories and lessons learned from some of the most successful real estate leaders and investors in the industry. Whether you're a brand new agent, a seasoned investor, or building a high-performing team, there's something valuable for you every single week. Learn, network, grow. Registration is completely free. Simply visit globalinvestoragent.com to reserve your seat for an upcoming Monday night.
Oh my gosh.
All of them.
See, yeah, who said that? Bonita?
Vanetta.
Bonetta, yeah. Okay, upside down. Yeah, kind of the people who are upside down, people that can't pay commission. That's true. Who else? People going through a divorce.
Hmm.
People who lost their
Foreclosures.
foreclosure. Bravo! I've helped so many people in foreclosures, guys. I've stopped foreclosures like days before auction, and I've saved people like you have no idea how many times. Yeah, foreclosures, death, job relocations, people having multiple properties. I can't handle two mortgages. Like all these are real life situations that your clients are dealing with. Imagine if you had an option and been like, hey, would you be open to this?
Hmm.
Okay. So one of the things that this strategy got me thinking is leverage. So are you looking for leverage to help your clients out? How are you thinking about leverage? Give me some ideas. Let me go back. Like in this strategy, what are we leveraging?
Mortgage.
Yeah, we're leveraging a bank. We're
Oh, yeah.
leveraging a bank loan. a bank at a low interest rate. We're leveraging an existing loan, okay? And
Mhm.
whether it's paid currently or if it's not current, okay, I can make it current if it's pre-foreclosure. And by you doing that for a family or someone, you're like a savior because you're fixing that, you're helping their credit. You're stopping the foreclosure for and with a credit hit for 7 years on their credit. Like imagine doing that for your clients, okay? And bringing solutions that most people don't know how to do because they don't know how. And at the same time, this is a win-win where you're making great money doing it. Okay, Catherine, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the biggest fear for people when they're in this situation is that they are afraid they're just giving their house away. So, and losing control of everything. So what do you put in place to make them feel comfortable that you are indeed going to pay that loan?
Very good question, Catherine. So first of all, people, the people that I've worked with, guys, I have dozens and dozens of testimonials and that are notarized, by the way. Oh, I'm going to give you a golden nugget. If you are not getting testimonials already, get some notarized testimonials when you're at closing because you get some really good credibility by a notarized testimonial. And I'm going to give you another golden nugget. You can write it up yourself if you want based on the description of how you help that client out. And then when you ask them, you say, hey, is this what happened? Is this the true testament of what happened? Or can you tweak this testimonial? I want to make it easy. When we go to closing, I would love a testimonial from you. So you should do this in your real estate agent business, in your investing business, get some notarized testimonials. And then when you go on other appointments, closing appointments, this is a great way to close other clients. Now, going to your question, when people, I come up with like the numbers, no one feels like I stole their house from them because I give them facts, I educate them. I say, okay, this is your loan, this is fair market value, this is how much work the house needs. If I were to do this is what it needs. And this is the profit that I need to make in order for this to make sense for me. The most I can pay is up to 90% of fair market value. So I need a 10% margin minimum, right? So when I educate them like this, and then we work through numbers, they understand the numbers. If there's a gap, I'll bring money to the table. Or I will give them a promissory note that I'll tell them, when I sell the property, I'm going to give you this amount. And everybody feels like they've gotten a fair offer. I have bought houses like this from a former federal judge. By the way, I didn't know he was a judge till the day after closing. I think I would have been from like a retired CIA agent. Okay, I'll show you the house. Who paid me $65,000 to buy his house? A colonel in the military. I'll show you the case study. I bought houses from real estate agents that couldn't sell their own houses. Guys, this is a people business, and you have to be transparent and you have to be in integrity. Because, Catherine, back to your question, many times, not many, but I've had sellers ask me, Naya, what would happen if you can't pay my mortgage? Don't you think that that's a fair question? That's a good objection, right? Yeah. And then I say, that's a good question. I will say, I will deed the house back to you.
Yeah.
Hey, this has never happened. I tell them this has never happened. I will not miss a $2,000 mortgage payment after I brought money to the table or after I put $20,000, $30,000 in to renovate this. I will not miss a $2,000 mortgage payment and miss out on making a profit on this property. It would be stupid of me. But I reassure them because this is an integrity piece. I would not miss with someone's credit. If I don't make those monthly payments, their credit gets hit. Do you think a former federal judge or a retired CIA agent cares about their credit? Yeah,
Of course they
right.
do.
Of course they do. And in this business, even though real estate is so big, it's also really small. Everybody knows you, right? If you do something wrong to one person, everybody's going to find out about it. Same thing with real estate agents. How many of you have heard stories of real estate agents messing up or doing something stupid? And then everybody
Oh,
hears
yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
Same thing, right? But in this scenario, like think outside the box. Learn leverage. That's one of my favorite words. I like to leverage the existing loans. What else can you leverage? Can you leverage time? Maybe they don't need the money. Don't make assumptions that sellers need the money. Okay?
Mhm.
What else can you leverage? You can leverage someone else's money if you don't have your own money. I've had private lenders that have come in. But let me jump in and then okay, someone help if anyone's asking questions because I'm not paying attention to the chat so much. Uh just stop me and let me know.
Okay.
I have a question. What is a notarized testimony versus a regular testimony?
So I write the testimony or they write the testimonial, and you know how you're at a closing table and a settlement agent or an attorney notarizes it. I get it notarized. So it's legit that that seller signed it.
So where do you post that? I mean, I
I
get them
have that in my
online, so I don't get
document.
it.
That's for me. I don't post that publicly because I don't want
Oh,
people's signatures and
oh, you
names
just
out.
have it with you.
I have it
Oh,
with me
okay.
in my credibility binder.
Gotcha.
Okay. And sometimes I will like blank out their names, their signatures just as proof. Like this is real proof of this is a real individual that I helped. Now, let me tell you about this. This is a property that was only 4 or 5 years old, brand new, okay, that a colonel in the military bought, and he only had it for a year. And within a year, guys, do you think he had much appreciation? No, he
Probably
did
not much.
not.
Yeah.
Not much. And he got military orders to move out of state, okay? And his wife was an attorney, and he had a son that were in New York, like a different state. So it's middle of November, and I did marketing. Obviously, we all know this is a marketing business, right? Everything we do, we have to market yourself. You market for leads. So this was a direct mail campaign. 4 bedroom, gorgeous home, hardwood floors. It was only 4 or 5 years old. And because it was November, and I did the numbers with him and I did comparables, okay? Fair market value was 465, guys. He had a VA loan, okay? For 467 that he bought the year before. So when I told them that the most I could do is 90% of fair market value, because I told him, I said, this is what I said to him. I said, whether I buy this house or someone else buys it, if you sell it with a real estate agent, like a listing agent and a buyer's agent, you'll pay the 6% commission plus the closing costs. Your 10% is going to come off the top anyways. You're going to bring money to the table. Whether you bring money to the table for me buying it, or you're going to bring money to the table for any other buyer when you're using real estate agents. So he understood that. So I said, the difference with me is I can close in 2 weeks and you don't have to wait out these winter months and paying the mortgage every month. So that's what he agreed. We called his wife. We three-wayed his wife. I explained my options. Okay. They agreed. This is my 2-page purchase and sales agreement. Okay. He had a loan. So the way I wrote it is taking over subject to the existing loan of 467.9. Okay. My EMD, by the way, guys, my EMD is always like $100. Sometimes it's 20 cash. Don't think that it has to be in the thousands. Just because you've been doing things a certain way as a real estate agent doesn't mean that that's the only way that things can be done. Okay? Um,
Was this the one where the guy's wife, she was an attorney up in New
she
York?
is. Yep,
That's
yep.
the
She's an
original
attorney in
number?
New
Yeah.
York. Yep. And it said seller to pay the buyer at closing $49,500. So I purchased it for 418.5. Okay. And this is a settlement statement. Okay. With where it says cash to borrower. He paid closing costs, obviously. I bought this house and I got $43,000 at closing. Now, my exit was a long-term tenant. So I put in a 2-year tenant, okay, in this property because I had to wait for the market to appreciate, right? I had to wait for the market to appreciate. My tenant was paying the mortgage every month, okay? And I was negative $200 a month, negative cash flow. But it was okay because he had a low interest rate that I was getting about $1,000 in principal balance reduction every month. Are you following what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay. So with this particular property, I sold it 2 years later. And it was like in 2021, the market was doing fantastic, and I made $110,000 on the back end after 2 years. Like, and I know you might think like this crazy. It's not. I'm bringing. Like, there's people out there who care a lot about their credit. Okay, and these people, you know them. They're government employees, like, and they have the money. They can't afford, or they have clearances. They can't afford not to take care of, their business.
Mhm.
And they too have real life situations, like a job relocation, which he did.
Yeah.
And he
But
didn't want to be an out-of-state landlord.
yeah. And what you did is you leverage time. In other words, that guy, the colonel, he didn't have time to leverage. He needed to sell the
No,
house so he could go live with his wife up in New York. And you
yeah,
had the time. You were patient. You replaced fear with faith. And I mean, every market goes up, every market goes down, and every market
yeah,
goes down, it goes back up again. You know.
absolutely, absolutely. These things they happen all the time.
Mhm.
Okay, so like what ideas? I know you guys. I know your minds are thinking right now. What's popping on your mind about what's possible?
I'm thinking right now, we're seeing um, uh, prices on the retreat a little bit in several markets around the country.
Oh
So that
yeah,
means coming up, people could potentially be upside down.
oh
You know,
yeah,
just like this guy. Yeah.
for sure, for sure, for sure,
Mhm.
for sure. So here's another one. Okay. This, how many of you try to go after expired listings? Yeah.
So everybody,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, everybody, right? That after expired listing. So that's what I did too. So this was an expired listing. It hadn't sold, and like I called them. I sent them a letter, marketing. They called me back, and in conversation, they had a lot of equity. They and this is the other thing I want to tell you. It's a people business, and like I care about everyone that I work with, and I know you all do too. Because anyone who is successful in this business, their number one priority is bringing value, right? And this is all about relationships. Everything's about relationships. So I found out that the husband had his leg amputated. And they had another rental property, and they wanted to get rid of all the rental properties. They wanted to simplify their life. The wife was an optometrist, had her own business. So when I was looking at numbers and I asked them what how much do you have on left on your balance, they had a lot of equity, over $100,000. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, they're gonna want all their money. I don't have money right now. How am I gonna do this? Um, But I said, I don't care, and I just go on the appointment. So I went on the appointment, and one of the things I do is, and I hope you guys all do too, I want to make sure that all the decision makers are at the appointment, right? Yeah, everybody's like, yeah. So
Mhm.
I asked the wife, I said, like, I need your husband there too. So she said, okay, after his physical therapy appointment, we'll come to the property. I said, fantastic. So we go there. She does a walkthrough. He stayed in the car. I didn't know that, honestly, when she said physical therapy, I didn't know that he had his leg amputated till actually the day I went to the appointment. And um, when I saw that, my heart, like, my heart went out to them because she shared with me that that had just happened a few weeks before. And I saw his face. So when we were walking around, the wife showed me the property, and then she also said that had another property that was under contract that they were selling. I said, okay. And oh, by the way, this property was in Alexandria, Virginia. It was about an hour from where I live, and I was late by 10 minutes. So I said to them, let's go to Starbucks. Guys, I'm gonna get you whatever you want. Sorry I was late. I'm never late on appointments, but I was stuck in traffic. And they started joking around. She's like, well, next time you could buy us dinner. You could be even more late. And I was like, all right, you got it. So once we went into Starbucks and I saw that she brought out the wheelchair and his leg was amputated. Guys, I didn't care about the property. I didn't care about anything. My number one goal was to make this man smile and make his day for an hour. Like, I don't care what happens. So we went there. I had sent them a special report advance ahead of time. I didn't care, like, whether I get this deal or not, whatever happens, I want to do whatever I can to help them out, and that was my intention. So we're at Starbucks, and come to find out that he was doing contracting work for like a big franchise on the commercial side, and so he knew numbers. I gave them comparables, and I said, this house, actually, instead of going that, let me see the photos. So I said, your house compared to the ones that have sold, your house doesn't have the granite countertops, doesn't it has the linoleum, it has the like vinyl flooring. There were certain things that I brought to their attention that they didn't have the upgrades that other houses that had sold had. So once I educated them on their own, they're like, oh, we were overpriced, we should have dropped it. I'm like, how much do you think you would have listed it for? And they dropped it immediately, like 15, 20K. And I said, okay, you're right. Okay, so it's important to get them to understand and respond back. I said, you're right. And now I said, this is what I can do. The most I can do, so I explained to them the most I could do is this much. And then while we were there, I asked them, do you need the money? Since you're selling your other property, that's an investment property, and you'll probably be hit with capital gains, do you need the money on this one? Because you'll be hit with capital gains on this one too. And they said, we can wait. And I was like, whoa, that's fantastic. So imagine this, guys. I structured this. The purchase contract was for $320,000. They had an existing loan of $200,000, and they had $120,000 of equity. So I gave them a promissory note. They became the bank, right? So I took over the first and then put a deed of trust, put a second lien in place for them for $120,000 for a 5-year term at a 0% interest rate. Are you all following me?
Mhm.
What did I leverage? What did I leverage?
Pretty much everything on that one. Time, money,
Yeah, it's time.
solving their problem.
Yes, all of it.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, you can close in 2 weeks. You can close in 1 week. You can close as soon as you clear title, and your title company can move it. You can close very fast. I've closed within days, and to stop people from losing their house to foreclosure. So I bought this house, and I brought $5,400 to the table. And then I did the same thing. I put a tenant buyer in here. Okay. And then the guy didn't exercise the option. So I ended up selling it 18 months later. And so I paid the first and the second and the 120,000 back to them. And I made $53,000. And I was cash flowing because this is the thing. Their loan had a really low interest, and I was cash flowing like $1,000 a month on this property. Like knowing when I look back, I'm like, come on, Naya, why did you sell it? But anyways, we all learn, right? So my net was a little bit over $62,000.
Nice.
But you don't know until you ask, and please don't make assumptions. Like it's human nature to make assumptions, and then I remind myself daily. I'm like, Naya, no, is that the truth? Did you ask? Did you ask? Ask questions. Get clarity.
Naya, how are you vetting those tenant buyers? I mean, obviously they're putting a lot down as that non-refundable deposit in addition
Yeah,
to
I'm
regular
I'm
deposits
vetting
that are
them. Like I am vetting them. I'm vetting the jobs, like what they do. Like I'm doing like a really, and I want them to buy the house. Like I really do. I vet them because I don't want them not to buy it. It's just that their life situations changed. But in my mind, I want them to take this seriously because I don't want to be dealing with tenants and toilets. Okay. And I eventually want to sell it at least a year or two down the road. Okay. Because this is the other thing. For my personal tax purposes, just the same thing with you guys as commissions. Rehabbers and real estate agents, when they're flipping houses, same thing with your commissions, it's ordinary income. Right? But when I hold a property for at least 12 months or longer, then it's considered a long term and it's passive. It's a different tax bracket. Bonita, you have a question?
I do. Let me see
Yeah.
what, I might have forgot what the question.
Mhm.
How do you determine how much they put down?
Who? My tenant buyers?
Yes.
So I usually ask around 3%, 3 to 5% of the sales price, and then that amount will be applied to lowering the purchase price when they're ready to exercise the option. I've also had people who have exercised the option to buy, guys. I'm not saying that everybody will not. I've had tenant buyers who have exercised the option to purchase, and they've bought houses and they've gotten good deals as well.
So you're
So
saying that $10,000 that the guy put down was going to be used for a down payment if he had
yes,
exercised
correct.
this okay, got it.
Yep. It would have been applied towards his down payment. Yeah. And
Got
this
it.
is the other thing. Like this house on the right, this is the one that I bought from the retired CIA agent on a golf course in a gated community, and I moved in there myself with my family. Like, and I'm friends with him. Like he retired and moved to Florida so he could play golf,
Is that in
and he was
Fairfax County?
ecstatic.
Is that in Fairfax County?
That's in Prince William County.
Okay, I'm in your area.
Oh, you are? I'm in Gainesville.
And I'm in Fairfax.
Okay, yeah. I do a lot in Fairfax, Prince William, Loudoun, all that. So, like, be open, because this is out, guys. This is the other thing. I just bought a property 2 weeks ago. Gary, you're gonna love this. I bought a house that's free and clear. I bought a house and 3 cars, all in one deal. Everything was free and
Wow.
clear, and I brought 10% down. Okay. Total for everything 528. Okay, I got a Jeep Gladiator that like it's a 4-year-old that had 5,000 miles. A Dodge Challenger that looked like Bumblebee from Transformers. Okay, that less than 20,000 miles, and a Ford Bronco, guys, less than 5,000 miles. These cars, this guy was a retired government employee. he just wanted to simplify his life. House was paid off free and clear. So were the car. He had like 7, 8 cars and motorcycles. And we're friends. Guys, listen to this. He has a cabin in West Virginia that I'm going to go to this weekend. Okay. To hang out. Because when I'm telling you that it's win-win, and we structured it, we closed 2 weeks ago, and I brought down 10%, like 52,000, like actually with closing costs close to $59,000 down. And he's holding the note, seller financing it. The difference, he's holding like 475, something like that, for 7 years at a 0% interest rate. I'm making $2,500 monthly payments to him.
Wow. And you got a good car for each of your boys.
Yeah, we got great cars. Like I'm driving the Gladiator. I like the Jeep. I was like, oh, this is fun. But like, guys,
Cars
like,
for the
don't
kids.
think that, huh?
I said cars for the kids too.
Car for the kids, yeah. Um, so so yeah, this is like, it's real. You could do this. And if I can do this, I'm from Greece. I came to the US when I was 11, 12 years old. Like it's like, you guys can do this. It's a people business. And because I love people so much, and my intention is to always make them my friends first. Whenever I've gotten with the intention of how can I get this deal? Oh, I want to make money. I've never gotten those deals. People can feel your energy. And then I said, you know what? No, always people first. Always people first. Um, so so yeah, like go ahead, Connie.
Well, what's your biggest strategy for marketing to find these people?
So I have multiple strategies. I have outgoing marketing, and I also have income. I pay for leads. I have a pay per lead company that have sellers that need to sell their house, need to want to sell their house. Sometimes I'm paying $200 to $300 per lead for seller leads coming in. And we're also doing our in-house outbound leads that are direct mail. We're doing call service, cold calling if it's a scenario like a pre-foreclosure or something like that, or probate. So this is how we get our leads, either print, calling, referrals. I have a lot of real estate agents who have been in the business for many years, 10, 20 years, and they have not thought about wearing the investor hat. And all of a sudden they're coming out of the woodworks right now, and they're like, Nadia, I have this opportunity. I have a client and I could help them, and maybe I could buy it. So now I'm having real estate agents approach me, and they're like, I don't know why I wasn't doing this before. And I laugh, and I'm like, I've been telling you to do it for over a decade.
Yeah.
And I'm helping them, I'm coaching them, like I'm consulting them on this particular situation. Like I did it with someone last week. It's a husband and wife couple that need to go into an assisted living facility and want to retire, and they don't have a lot of equity, and they don't really want to list their house. They don't want to put it on the MLS. And they told her, they're like, we'll sell it to you. Like, we don't need any money. We'll just, like, you do it. And then she pitched out. She's like, oh, can I buy it take over your loan? They're like, yes, do whatever you want. Like, they love her. Okay. So I'm having agents bring me deals, and we do deals together, or I'm helping them do things. So it's marketing and referrals. Same thing for you guys. That's how you get your clients, right?
Mhm.
And then this is, yeah.
Yeah, one of those actually, what I think you said it was I think 2 properties back, direct mail. Was it direct mail?
Yeah, direct mail, like direct mail. So these are like 2 of my clients, students, Jesse and Paula, a young couple, and then we started doing some deals together too. They're my business partners as well. I helped them buy this property. It's a townhouse here in Northern Virginia. It's in Fairfax, in Centerville, and the seller was behind 1 or 2 monthly payments, and his HOA a couple months. So they went in, they helped him, or they reinstated the loan. So this is their settlement. They took over an existing loan of 3.875. So they brought to the table 19,000, and then the seller got $12,000 cash, and then they reinstated the note and the HOA, and then they turned around and renovated it. They put about $30,000 into it, not too much, and guys, they sold it within 90 days, and they made $118,000.
Right.
Again, I'm saying the results are not typical, but this is like the sold it was summertime. Yeah. And then they turned around and sold it for 500,000.
Hmm.
And they made $118,000. And yeah, like this is an email I got from them on Thanksgiving. Because when I first met them, they were investors that had some bad contractors. And they were ready to get out of investing real fast. So they're because I sent them an email, happy Thanksgiving, I'm grateful for you guys, and then they said we feel the same way about you after we got screwed by Tony, and after having so much trouble with our rental property in Lanham, we had a lot of fear and doubt. We wondered if we were capable of having success in real estate. We considered getting jobs so that we could get by. Then we met you. They're engineers. They have engineering degrees, and then they didn't want to go and practice their engineering degrees, and then they started getting into real estate, and their parents helped them get in real estate investing. So you brought hope. You brought us hope and guidance. Your positivity, confidence, and hope helped us get through that difficult time. It's crazy to look back at where we were a year ago. We're so thankful for all the knowledge, support, and trust you have given us. We know we can count on you in business and in our personal lives. You can count on us too. Like, this is so cool. It's all about relationships, business, and like, to me, business and personal, it's combined. Like, Gary, how many, like, the conversations that we've had, it's all about people. It's all about relationships.
Oh yeah. I've been, this has been my story for the last several years. I've made more friends from business than I ever got business from friends, you know?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I-
yeah,
I've had students
yeah.
call me 20 years after I taught them, retired, like 40 years old and retired playing golf in Tampa. And I actually ran the one of the elevator. I was speaking at the Tampa Club, and I'm leaving at the end. And there's one of my former students in the elevator bay coming out of uh, the Tampa Club was up on top of this giant building. And I looked at him, and he said, "Gary," and I said, "Yeah." And his name's Matt Smith, by the way. And he only does is play golf now. And I said, "Well, what do you do?" And he said, "You don't get it. I just play golf." He said, "All the 20 homes he bought with me, they're all paid off. They're still in Pittsburgh. He's down there living life." But that's the kind of stuff that it's not in dollars, but it's in fulfillment. And
That's it.
when you help bring people financial peace, it's no wonder that you're friends, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, and the same thing with your clients. So for me, it's my mission. I want to equip 1,000 value amplifiers so they become grateful family partners. And technically, like, I want to help 1,000 people to become multimillionaires. That's my intention, because it's possible. I believe that we're in one of the best countries in the world. Like,
Mhm.
ask any immigrant, right? We
Yeah.
are, even though we're going through changes and circumstances, we're still one of the best countries in the world. We have so many opportunities here. I'm so grateful. And the opportunities that we have here, other people don't have in other countries. So for us, being in real estate, it's a gift
Mhm.
where we can solve people's problems so they can move on with their life. Okay. And I tell everybody, you're not looking for houses. You're looking to help people with real life situations that happen to have a house that goes along with it. So
Yeah.
when you reframe it like that's That's the goal because I want everyone to be able to impact the people we serve, like the sellers. So they can someone help someone from losing their house to foreclosure so then they can get back on their feet. And then if I can help them by me making payments, and I can help their credit, and then that weight is lifted within a timeline of who knows, 6 months, a year, they can slowly get back on their feet and maybe buy another house.
Yeah.
So it's always family first, like yeah, putting people first. So for me that's my goal, and I'm a big like the leverage is one of my favorite words. And how many of you have read this book, 10x is easier than 2x?
Yeah.
No, Gary
that.
has. I know you have.
Yeah.
Guys, this is like you just have to think smart, work smart. It's not about working hard. Okay, what can we leverage? What situations can we leverage? Can we leverage banks, low interest rate loans? If you're an investor and you want to get into rehabbing, why go use hard money if you can leverage a loan that's 3-4%? And why go pay 10, 12, 15% to rehab a house? Because I've rehabbed a lot of houses too. I'm in the middle of 3 renovations right now. I have a big project in Alabama. I have 3 projects here in Virginia. So it's, and I'm leveraging loans. So yeah, you guys can do it. You get to choose. We all have the power to choose. So where do you choose to invest your time, your money, your focus? So to me, once I learned how to do this strategy, literally I felt like I won the lottery. Like that's the feeling that I got. I was like, oh my gosh, I just won the lottery. No more hard money lenders. I use private lenders all the time. Don't get me wrong. Like I raise money for deals, but I'm like, no more hard money lenders that I have to sign my name on a personal guarantee that they could take away my house. Like that was the biggest fear for me because I lost my house. I had to short sell it. So for me, not having to, because when I had rehabbed a couple houses with Dave and I signed my name on with a personal guarantee, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also who here has heard about wholesaling? And wholesaling it can make you money. Okay, everybody has. All right. So this is a friend of mine who was a wholesaler. He's done over 300 wholesale deals. This is in Baltimore. He structured it. He helped the seller out. He found the buyer, structured it, and he made a really good wholesaling fee, $22,500. But afterwards, he said if he had kept it, he would have right now, after 3-4 years, he would have had $400,000 in equity, plus making $2,000 a month in cash flow. Like if he started thinking about building wealth, like sometimes we need the money now, right? We need the money now to pay our bills, put food on our table. But when you have that cash machine, whether it's from your commissions or whether it comes from, a combination of investments and cash flow, then start thinking about building wealth, like turn into like a real investor. So there's that. And then for me, like the value amplifier approach, like I broke it down, I simplified it into like 6 simple steps. Like everything starts with energy and intention, right? And then comes strategy. Okay, this is how similarly to how you deal with your real estate agent business, right? You determine your criteria, the type of like your avatar, things like that. So what I do is I create my criteria for houses. Okay, and then I focus on a marketing strategy, and then I like I get into case studies in my course and how to structure deals, and like this is what I focus on. And I've been helping people, coaching investors since 2015, around the country. So, like, today was all about education, opening your mind. If anyone feels like they want to learn about how to do this, I have a process, and I'm more than happy to walk you through it, schedule it. Like, I love Gary, and the value that he brings to everyone he comes across,
Mhm.
it shows. It's immense. I'm impressed how you don't stop doing this Monday night call. You've been doing this for years and
Mhm.
years. Like, you bring so much value to people over and over again. So it's my honor, and thank you for inviting me. It's my honor to have a one-on-one conversation with you guys. If you have a potential lead that you need, ideas on, like, book a call with me. I'm happy to
Mhm.
chat, help you out. I believe in this. I feel like this is the easiest way out there to leverage, create wealth, and like bring more solutions instead of just
Mhm.
one.
And you can do this anywhere,
Oh, you could do
big,
this anywhere.
big town, small town, east, west, north, south, it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
Uh,
that's it. You could do this anywhere. And I also have a Facebook group. So if you want to join, hold on, do I have it? Hold on. Oops. Wealth through real estate. I think I have to escape. Wealth through real estate community. It's on like a Facebook online. Um, do I have the link? But you know what I'll do is, yeah, if you go to Facebook under groups, if you put Wealth through RE community, you'll get it. I'm thinking about putting it in
okay.
the chat. Or if
If
somebody
you, if
finds
you,
it and they can put it in the chat, you guys can do it for me, please.
you know what, too, now, if you want to, you or Daniel was, put those in a email to me,
Yes, I
um,
will.
and I'll make sure gets those in the email that goes out.
Yeah, I'll send you an email by tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Email
Okay.
with Facebook group. And yeah, so feel free to like schedule a time with me. Do you guys have any questions before we go? I know we're a little over. I'm here to, answer any questions.
I'm gonna write down the Calendly link. I'll probably have it somewhere, but let me just get this real quick. My dot US.
Or you can scan it with your phone too, and it will go straight to it. And that's my email, not
Oh,
yet,
okay.
waltthroughre.com.
Do that. I know I have your number. I just want to
Guys, was this helpful?
Yes,
What
thank
yeah.
you.
this?
Yes.
Oh, my pleasure. Like, my pleasure. Like, if you have any questions, like, ask me. Like, I'm happy to stay here another 5-10 minutes. Answer any questions you may have.
Yeah. And
Thank you
guys,
so much. You clarify so many aspects of it and demystified it and made it less scary. Thank you.
Good, 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 good.
yeah,
You're welcome.
because I just want to tell you, so my friends Rick and Anna, you've heard me talk about it before, and again, they talk faster before too. They've been doing this for years now because of Naya. So Naya came and spoke to their investor. You spoke at their Fredericksburg investor group, I
Yeah,
think, right?
I did, and then I put them through my course. They got my course. I went through my training. Like, I coached them through that. Yeah, and they're doing deals in Florida too.
Yeah, they're right now they're totally in cruise mode. I mean, literally cruising all the time. They just I can't keep up. I mean, they're
Good for
doing
them.
Anna did 7 cruises in a row. Like
Wow.
they're living the life, man. Let me tell you. Um, I am going to call you like the next couple of days. I'm going to catch you up on them. Here's
Yeah,
some news for you there, but
I'd love that. And we need to it's time to get together. We haven't done it in a while.
I agree.
We keep
Well,
saying
and,
it.
and Rick and Anna are both agents. In fact, in Fredericksburg. Anna was number 1 and Rick was number 2. And Rick was chasing number 1 for years and she finally gave in and they got married, you know. Pretty neat. But guys, they're doing it and they're agents, you know.
You're
So
welcome, Lily. Thank you, guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Well, Gary,
Yeah.
thank you so much again. Yeah, like
Yes, thank you.
this was fun. My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure, everyone. Go out
you're
there and
welcome,
do
guys.
it. Like you being in real estate is such a gift and it's such an opportunity for all of us.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to make this, we have
You
what I
make it
started
sound
doing
so
now with the team is,
easy.
yeah,
She
we,
make you
we
make
have
it
the
sound
big
so
team.
easy.
Yeah. We have the big team, but I started working in huddles, or we did. Huddles like a group of 10 people that focus on a specific subject. So we do it for agent attraction, we do it for new construction, we do it for investors. But I want to make this part of that because I see it happening more and more. And it's not just investors, it's agents. I mean, for EXP to embrace it, it actually put it on their toolbox for us. I mean, that speaks volumes, you know.
Yeah. And then Rob just posted the Facebook group. If you guys want to grab it
Okay.
and join, more than welcome to.
Okay.
So thank you all so much. So if you don't have any questions, I will let you go.
Great. Thank you, Naya.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everyone.
You
Thank
too.
Okay,
you.
I'll
talk
give you-
soon, Gary. All right, bye.
Thank
I'll
you,
let you go.
Naya.
My pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
So guys, if you're okay, I'll go ahead and sign off too. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll stick around for another minute or two if you want me to. You know, negotiating clients, transaction issues. Who's here had an appraisal issue recently?
Mm,
We've had 2 of them on the team. Yep, coming in like a lot lower. And I've been through this before. I know what that means. You know, the banks are telling the appraisers we got to start pulling back the range. Guarantee it. And that's starting to happen. So if you have that happen, please let me know. Other than VA loans, there's a way you can combat that. You know. So okay.
yeah. All right. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Naya.
My
Thanks, Naya.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right, you guys, take care. Set up your one-on-ones. God bless you, all your loved ones, and I'll see you on the one-on-ones. This was an easy week this week, by the way. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Monday, next Monday, and that is 29th. Hold on a second. Let me just tell you who that is. That might be me, actually. I'll find out for sure tomorrow. So I'll be teaching something really special next Monday.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
All right, you guys take care.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.